drum beat that dead horse, being a little redundant, repetitive. We are a super compact city unlike anywhere else. European masterpiece in most Super Bowl cities. It would be like the Eagles are practice and the NFL's having a news conference afterwards in Covington. Don't forget about that party we all have to go to in Avondale, on the West Bank. I mean, it'd be like that in any other city. You're riding around in traffic. If it's not 20, 30 miles from one thing to another, literally like 20, 30, 40 miles from one venue to another, you're riding in traffic for 45 minutes or an hour, which is probably worse. So, no, I mean, there's a lot of great places to have a Super Bowl. Most places there, like everywhere else, so everyone's kind of used to that travel and all that. You come to New Orleans, you're like, damn, really didn't need the rental car. The restaurants we're going to, the music clubs we're going to, convention center, arena, Superdome, hotels, restaurants, music clubs. It's all within a mile or so of each other. Wow. One day we got adventurous and got on the streetcar and took it all the way down to the Carrollton neighborhood and walked down Oak Street to the Maple Leaf. You know, I mean, just New Orleans is so great for events, and especially super mega events like a Super Bowl. Like a Super Bowl. Mega yachts, at least a couple so far. Arthur Blank's yachts, like at the Butterfly at the Riverview. That's just awesome. And did he get city permission? Do you need it? Can you just pull over on the side of the river and drop anchor? I mean, there's probably like a Bentley or a limo just parked up there at the Butterfly plank, and security, I'm sure, standing by the gangplank, and some hundreds of millions of dollars of boat right there at the riverfront, fly behind Audubon Park. That's Arthur Blank, the Falcons owner. The Jaguars owner, Khan, his boat's parked, I think, by Waldenburg Park on the riverfront. And it's just, his is like a $300 million super yacht. This speech, as I was basically saying, these folks like this, they own these houses that, you know, the crappy house could be like $5 to $7 million bucks, and they have houses that are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million in some cases, these billionaires, and some have 2, 3 houses, some have 10, 20 houses. This is a super mansion that happens to have a big old hull and motors and a captain and a crew, like the full maid service, butler, everything, but on a boat. And the house, you want to call it $50 million house on a $150 million boat, or a lot that moves. These boats were parked down like in the Caribbean. So I imagine Khan and Blank were flying down there, and they hang out on the beach, and that's their house. They don't need to go to a hotel. Maybe they own another house physically on the land there. I doubt it. They go to the yacht, which has their toothbrush, their underwear, their sheets. It's their house that moves.
It's actually very smart.
It's ridiculous if you're wealthy. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's like flying private jet. I mean, I'm going to go commercial when I'm wealthy. So I guess a week or two ago, hey, Captain Jimmy, bring the boat up from the Bahamas, up the mouth of the river, find a spot to park somewhere in New Orleans. So those guys are going to be, you know, showering, spending the night, sleeping on their yacht, their house that moves. And then they come down the gangplank, and there's probably some Bentley limo mobile. But boy, hey, I temporarily live at the Butterfly Audubon Park on the river for the Super Bowl for a few days. That's pretty badass. Oh, I live at Waldenburg there for a few days for the Super Bowl. It's incredible. Wealthy. Yeah, I also mentioned hundreds and hundreds, like 500, 600, 700 north of that. I'm going to have to go to Lakefront Airport like on Saturday afternoon and go up on the Seabrook bridge and snap a few photos of the infield. I'm assuming like an entire runway will be shut down. They'll just have the main lanes. There'll be so many planes parked at Lakefront Airport, like 500, 600, 700 G5 and larger jets. These are, tens of millions of dollars. Some are going to be north of hundreds of millions of dollars. It's incredible. All parked at the lakefront, like hundreds and hundreds of them, like we've never seen. No, you got these multi-millionaires, like worth hundreds of millions, billionaires, Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, CEOs, decision makers coming into town. And like or dislike Jeff Landry, don't like his politics, don't like the agenda. I could say that about a lot of politicians, maybe our president, but I want to see the results. Very good results. Jeff Landry's done some positive things. This tent that they've put up at the whale lot by the hill, that's just first class, and it's going to be loaded with just first class amenities, food, drinks, luxurious. They're bringing the CEOs and the business leaders of the world in there, and they're going to hit them hard to get jobs into New Orleans and Louisiana. You got to ask. You can't play a little game. Can't go to Washington, D.C. Mardi Gras and get drunk. You got to proactively pry jobs out of these people that at any time, you catch them at the right time, they can say yes and then go, hey, Freddie, we had 50,000 employees. Send 100 to New Orleans. Send out a memo. Who wants to work, from New Orleans? Any of these Fortune 500 companies could put 100 people in New Orleans, no problem. I mean, you could solve the economic crisis in this city at a Super Bowl if you have enough soldiers out there selling the city. Getting these people, at music clubs, getting them in your jobs, man. You got 50,000 employees. Send out a memo. Who wants to move to New Orleans and work from there? Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
That's French bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896. New Orleans, Leidenheimer French bread.
Somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand place for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to GVB. The Grand Victorian.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call at 8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
In Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest unmade prescription lenses and gorgeous high frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxford. On Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizza has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Changing talk radio in New Orleans for the better. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Commercial plane and Black Hawk helicopter crashing at Reagan International Airport in D.C. President Trump blames air traffic controllers, the helicopter pilot, DEI practices. 64 dead. He's a trip. He said Pete Buttigieg is a BS artist, but said the words BS, both of them, especially the S word. Just said it. It's the president. I don't mean to laugh. It's a tragedy of the plane crash. I'm not laughing at that 1 minute. That's sickening. That Reagan Airport is a mess, though. That one runway, the long runway, they have 3 runways, but the long one, which is less than 7,000 feet, which is short, busiest runway in the United States of America. You think about Atlanta, Hartsfield, and Pete runways, all of them can land just about any plane. And, Denver's just got a row of runways with room to add more runways. Reagan International is an old airport. It's landlocked. And it's the busiest single runway, coupled with military aircraft flying in and out of that airport all the time, coupled with private airplanes flying in and out of the airport, coupled with Washington, D.C.'s, zones and areas where you can and cannot fly because of the White House, the Capitol, all of that. Coupled with it's right on the river, on the Potomac, and they have to, all that jet noise in the neighborhoods and retail areas and the Capitol itself where business is being conducted. So it's kind of a precarious airport. Like pilots say you wouldn't want to land your first plane there, that type of stuff. Passed about you don't want to add more flights, and the FAA allowed more flights to be added. And that means more planes landing on that big runway than they already have, and it's already crowded and congested. So you're jamming more planes in there, and the military and all that. So we'll learn more as this goes on. USA national newspaper had an interesting article. It just jumped out at me. Should jump out at you. Shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. Shrimp fraud rampant rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. USA Today sent a team of reporters. This is where you folks are like, media sucks. The left-wing media. This is the media. This is where the media is at its best. This is where you have to have the media, the free press. It's of vital importance. You folks that bash the media, it's not perfect, but these broad statements like mainstream media, that's such a nice thing. What do you mean? I mean, it's such a broad statement. It's so easy for you to say it. And then the ones that aren't good, and then the ones that are good. Like I'm supposed to be able to read your mind? Just these broad statements, these generalizations that aren't true. It's easy to bash the free press, the media. Really easy. I like what the Supreme Court said 50 plus years ago during Nixon's administration, trying to clamp down on like the Washington Post, the New York Times, Bill Bradley, report on Vietnam and Watergate. The Supreme Court said in the First Amendment, the founding fathers gave the free press the protection it must have to fulfill its essential role in our democracy. The press was to serve the governed, not the governors. The press serves us, not the elected officials. Gave the free press the protection it must have to fulfill its essential role in our democracy. USA Today sent a team out to 4 Gulf Coast cities. They went to Baton Rouge. They went to Biloxi. They went to Galveston, Texas, and they went to Tampa, Florida. Well, of Tampa Bay shrimp restaurants that are Gulf shrimp are serving imported shrimp. They're not from the Gulf of Mexico. 96% shrimp fraud in Tampa. In Biloxi, it's 82%. 82%. 5 shrimp platters in Biloxi, imported shrimp. 4 out of 5 shrimp platters in Biloxi, imported shrimp. I walk right in the door to Lebanon's Cafe. Right on the window, it says Gulf shrimp. Gulf of Mexico, not America. Oh, boy. Galveston, Texas, 59% shrimp fraud. 59%. 3 out of 5 shrimp platters that are supposed to be Gulf shrimp in Galveston. 3 out of 5, the clear majority, imported shrimp. Baton Rouge had the best record, but still 30%. Like better than 1 out of 4, almost 1 out of 3. Shrimp po' boys in Baton Rouge. Gulf shrimp. Shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. I've been pounding this for decades. This Chinese writing, there was like an English word on the damn thing. And then all of a sudden it's Bernard's and Thibodeau and all these, like Cajun names or Cajun sounding names, Louisiana, cypress trees, alligator, China. And you have to really look for that. The Chinese crawfish are like, you need to know. And I don't know, I guess there's somebody out there going, no, these are Louisiana too. They're just less than half the price. I mean, you can fool yourself into thinking that. And I've never purchased Chinese crawfish tails in my life, and I never will. And I said this years ago to many representatives in Baton Rouge, both on the House side and the Senate side. Pass legislation where all of these imports, if it's something you're buying from a store, there has to be a label on it, stuck on the packaging, where the font size is as big as the largest font size on the package of China, product of Alabama, anything that comes in from outside of Louisiana. The law was passed where restaurants, I was pounding that. Restaurants need to say where this comes from. I remember going to a restaurant. It was a hysterical story. I go, Miss Peaches meeting a client who wants to advertise, ready to buy money. They're like, Corey, go meet this client to see if y'all get along and you want to endorse his product. So Terry's, a couple other workers, like 5 of them, So I get there. I'm like the 6th person. I was covering like a Nagin press conference. So I was like 10 minutes late. So I get there and they're like, we already ordered. I look up on the board and they got some Louisiana redfish. So the waiter comes over and I was like, Louisiana redfish? They're like, yeah, redfish from Louisiana. I'm like, I think that is illegal. I mean, can you check with the chef and find out where they're from? And then he goes to the back and he comes back and goes, they're from the Gulf. And I said, I don't think they're from the Gulf. And then the 5 people at the table like, Jesus, Corey's going overboard. Corey's being Corey. And it's like, check with the chef. He comes back, Texas farm-raised redfish. And I was like, good, I'll have the chicken or whatever. And I was like, you have to check, and everybody's like, oh, whatever. We're talking, whatever, and trying to work out a deal. And they bring the food over and 5 redfish dishes in my chicken. So everybody got the farm-raised redfish after I beat it up and destroyed it. Like before I got there, I was late. So anyway, we did the deal. They advertised on the program. That Corey's irritating, but boy, he's truthful. Yeah, I had the corporal laughing yesterday. Like 30 years ago, I got arrested for like expired driver's license, or I missed a court date for a ticket or something like that. It was like 2 p.m. on like a Saturday, by like St. Charles and Carrollton over by like Camellia Grill or something. Anyway, I was telling the cops, I'm like, really? For a parking ticket or whatever it was, license expired, you really have to arrest me? Like, we follow the law. They're just really belligerent. I think they're just like, we're going to arrest this kid, just thought I was some entitled kid or whatever, Anyway, normal dress, formulating sentences. Oh, it must be an entitled kid, just short-sighted police. Anyway, they're like, no, we follow the law. We don't break the law. We don't have exceptions to these things. So they put me put the handcuffs behind my back, put me in the back, and drive off, which is illegal. It's no left turn at Napoleon on St. Charles. And of course, I go. So I thought you guys said you follow the law, no exceptions. You took that left turn there at Napoleon. That was a no left turn. Police car pulls over the side of the road. They both just glare back at me, and I'm like, Corey, you're the stupidest person on the planet. Shut up. And then they ended up dropping.
In this locomotive complex is something called quick lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak tree. Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and forward for more than 125 years. Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Producing the perfect French bread is more than a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Davey Insurance Agency, auto, home, flood business. Call 456-0809 Davey at insagency.com. Davey Insurance Agency, auto, home, flood business. Call 456-0809 Davey at insagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you never clean your gutters again. Never. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Have that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Why wear the same old blouse that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not a typical eyeglass store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frame. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your visit portnola.com. I actually turned my air conditioning on today. Oh, Miss Peach is Bradley Snell. I'm sorry. Not my bad. Did I say my bad? I don't say my bad. That's the worst. My bad. Absolutely terrible. I take that back. Let's rewind the program, Miss Peaches. Welcome back. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Miss Peaches, call Bradley Schneller. I forgot to mention it. I turned my air conditioning on today. I've been running my heat for the last day. Air conditioning help, heat help, total maintenance is there for you. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. That's all you need to know. 40 plus years, sterling reputation. Honest, not going to rip you off. AC and heating experts diagnosing it right away, and they come right away because your AC or heat's not working right. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, total maintenance. tm-ac.com. If you ever need heat or air conditioning help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think total maintenance. tm-ac.com. If you ever need fitness or nutrition help in Metro New Orleans, think Stacked Coaching, stackedcoaching.com. Bradley Sneller joins us on the program. What's up, Bradley? How's it going, man? Uh-oh. You there, Bradley?
Trying to recover from all the working out this week. How about yourself?
Well, I was watching you for a few minutes today with that like 3-foot-long hammer-looking thing with the big ball on the end, and that just looked ridiculously painful. You were just swinging that thing all over God's creation.
It's called the steel mace. It's a pretty functional piece of equipment. I like to use it to keep me nice and mobile, but also do a little strength work at the same time.
No, I watched you go in one direction for a while, and then I was like, he's going to go in the other way, I bet. and then you started going in the opposite direction. It was like tiring just watching it, man. I haven't advanced to that thing yet. I hope they have different sizes and weights.
They do. They have the Corey weight and the Bradley weight.
Nice. Thanks for that. Bradley Sneller's with us from Stacked Coaching. Hey, Bradley, let's do this backwards instead of jamming it in at the end. If folks have any questions about nutrition or fitness, working out, want to know about Stacked Coaching, want to join the gym, want to know how it's different from CrossFit, want to get in touch with you, want to get a free consultation, how do they do it?
Yeah, they can reach out to us at Stacked Coaching. They can also go to our website, www.stackcoaching.com, fill out a form, and we'll get you a free consultation, whether it's fitness or nutrition, and at the very least, to leave with some information that should be helpful towards moving yourself in a healthy, fit direction.
Bradley Schneller is with us, owner, operator, trainer, head coach at stackedcoaching.com. River Road at Arnold, right past Shrewsbury by Ochsner. Hey, Bradley, on that levee, they're on the bike. They're, hey, I'm doing 50 miles today. And then they've got this, like, gut hanging out, over their stomach, like half a basketball. And then I see guys at like old school gyms, and they just look, like they barely could find clothing that fits them, like they're juiced up or something. And I don't know if they can put the garbage can out on the street without getting winded. Cardio versus strength training. Talk about that and talk about those extremes I just mentioned, where some folks seem to be all cardio and some folks seem to be all strength and can't do the other.
Yeah, so I think it comes down to maybe a lack of education. It can also come down to personal preference when it comes to your style of training and what you prefer, what's easy for you. And look, most people gravitate towards what they know, what's easy for them. So if strength training seems to be something foreign to you and difficult, and there's a little bit of a barrier of entry, then you go like, oh, I just go hop on a bike, or I'll go for a run, whatever it might be, And then other people prefer weightlifting for whatever reason. They got into it in high school, they got into it in college, or, they're like, I don't really feel like wanting to have my lungs on fire, And then I really think the other option is people are just misinformed. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of people seeking, I want a better body, all right? But I need to do all this cardio, or I'm not really working out hard unless I am completely sweating and feel like my lungs are on fire and I can't move. You know what I mean? And that's just wrong. So both are useful. You need both to be a fit person, right? The amount depends on your goals accomplished. But as I say, and you say it on the show all the time now, is that fitness is for wellness and nutrition is for weight loss. So most people think the key to weight loss is more cardio. It's not. You know what I mean? It's being in a caloric deficit. So then when you look at, well, what do you want to actually accomplish? Okay, I want to look better. Well, then you need more toning, right? And I know there's a lot of fitness workouts out there that might cringe. And that's just because their ego is getting in the way. But we all know what you mean when you say toning. You want more muscle mass, right? You want to be firm. And so that requires strength training. So again, like all of this stuff comes down to, and everything that I talk about on the show, all this comes down to, it depends on what your goal is and what you're trying to accomplish.
Can you burn calories and lose weight by not getting your heart rate up and getting the lungs burning and not sweating?
Yeah, it's called walking. It's like, look, that's great. One of the biggest metrics I use for tracking people's activity is how many steps they get.
Yes, the 10,000 step a day thing.
Yeah, I try to get 15. I tell some people to get above 8, whatever it might be. But like the situation is this, and I've talked about it before in the show. Like you track your calories and how much you burned in a a group fitness session, and it's wildly inaccurate. Okay, for starters, and then second of all, like let's say the difference between a super hard workout and not hard workout is 200 calories. Well, you can erase that with, right? And so then if we look at like, okay, well, what's the difference between 10,000 steps in a day and 15,000 steps in a day? And that answer might be 400 or 500 calories, right? So then if we look at it for why is walking my beneficial than making your lungs burn? Well, then because it is less intense, and when something is less intense, you're less hungry. And I think all this plays into a factor of, we think people's lungs should burn every now and then. I like to get people's heart rate up to an anaerobic level once a week, and I think it's important in terms of your overall fitness.
Oh no, I've been in there where I've said a few things like I'm redlining, I'm leaking oil, things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely like doing that. I was going to say stack coaching. Yeah.
And, like we get a certain number of
in the gym, want to find out how we can help you with fitness and nutrition. And Bradley, I'm noticing because I joined like less than a year ago, 10 and a half, 11 months ago, Mardi Gras last year. Is this a New Year's resolution thing at the gym, I'm assuming? More crowded in January than it was last year. Is this like a normal trend everywhere in the world?
Not, and the reason why is, our gym is expensive. Our gym is more expensive than most gyms. It might be one of the most expensive gyms in the city. And so people just don't join that on a whim, right? It requires some planning and thought and put it into your budget. And the reason we do cost you the exact information you need in order to reach your goals. The only thing you have to do is show up, right? Whether it's show up in nutrition or show up when it comes to the group classes, okay? But I think what you're seeing is, I put a lot of work into development of our brand, and, members are pretty proud of what they accomplish in the community that we have. We're trying to share it with the world. And we're just kind of seeing some fruits of that happening right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm proud of that place. I love the place. I like all the people.
I also think, though, like for most people, Christmas is a busy time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the holiday season's super busy. You see a big lull in New Orleans in between Thanksgiving and I mean, really Mardi Gras. Like, I was kind of talking about one of my colleagues about this. He lives in Europe, and he's on my nutrition team. And it's like, yeah, dude, like the city kind of just shuts down in between Thanksgiving and Mardi Gras. He's like, well, how long is that? I'm like, I don't know, like 3-4 months.
No, it's true. It's true. And then, I mean, the excuses keep coming, and it's Jazz Fest. I mean, it's like, I don't know how we get stuff done. I really don't know how we get
so like
stuff
that's what I always say. There's never a good time. You just need to start and get in the habit of doing it.
Yep, no doubt about it. StackedCoaching.com. Bradley Schneller, always a pleasure, brother. See you at the gym tomorrow.
Right, have a good one.
Yep.
Later.
That's Bradley Schneller. Knows what he's talking about. I wouldn't have him on the program. I don't have him on the program because I go to his gym. And he said his gym's expensive. It's not really expensive. All these other gyms are just cheap. $10 a month. You know, his place is expensive. Nutrition is for weight loss. Fitness is for wellness. You can't outwork a bad diet. Bradley Schneller. Corey Johnson with you, coming right back.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. Be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids, love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, the New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. Yeah, you right. Are you beelining on the causeway right now? Trey Yen opens their doors in 8 minutes. They'll pick up the phone right now and take your to-go order. Curbside delivery. You head to Mandeville on the causeway, fire in a to-go order at Trey Yen. Be a hero when you walk in the door. Are you kidding me, Mom, Dad, the kids? Who's going to be about a huge to-go order from Trey Yen? Don't forget the Tong Cho sauce. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Don't forget about those lunch specials Tuesday through Friday. Gourmet Chinese cuisine lunch specials, about 20 different ones to choose from. 10, 11, 12 bucks each. Trey Yen in Mandeville. And of course, dining in 3 diners in 1. Trey Yen in Mandeville, so good. It is a Thursday afternoon in New Orleans. A week ago, dealing with a foot of snow on the ground. Today, 73 degrees. Gotta love it. Gotta love this guy going to bat for us nonstop for 35 plus years. Jeff Dorson joins us from the Humane Society of Louisiana. How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, Corey. Yeah, 35 years, and it feels like it's day one. We just need to do a little bit better. Oh, my goodness.
What are you, in Baton Rouge?
What we got during the freeze.
What are you, in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, so I serve on the Pet Overpopulation Advisory Council. We're trying desperately how to raise money to get to these spay-neuter providers. They need our help. That costs are going up. Spay-neuter is going up. So few people are doing it. So we meet several times a year. We passed a new law last section, a commemorative pet stamp. First of all, we passed in 2002, way back in the day, where we sell animal license plates. I think you have one.
Well, I had one. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and so the companion to that is now we're allowed to sell commemorative stamps. They're not postage stamps; they're like decorative stamps. But one of the first stamps we're going to sell is the one on the runaway dog trim that you've probably heard about,
Yes.
read about.
Yep.
So we're going to have different types of stamp sizes just to get the awareness out. They'll have spay and neuter on the front of the stamp. We'll have a nationwide contest where people can submit their pet for consideration for an entry fee. Everything goes for spay neuter.
Wow, I'm getting an email from GQ on the North Shore right now, Jeff. Did anything happen to the owner of the horse that died last week?
We don't know. We turned it over to Jefferson Parish Animal Services, and I have to say they're pretty thorough. And good for reminding me. I'll reach out to them. Sometimes they don't always tell me because it's under investigation, but I'll see what they're going to tell me. Yes, it was horrible. A horse died, and 2 others suffered because a ding-dong didn't provide them with enough heat or food during the freeze.
Yep, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like the approach, Jeff, of finally going the political angle on this. It's the only way to get it done.
I'm glad you understand that. That's exactly right. If we don't have the support of our politicians, which we never have, we never get anywhere. They can make things happen. Especially our governor, all these big players, yes, they can, and we're going to do our best. We're going to introduce another law this session called to create the Pet Overpopulation Task Force with members from the Sheriff's Association, municipalities, police juries. Everybody's got to come to the table and look at this from a holistic angle. Everybody's affected. Sheriffs can't make an arrest. There's no place to put the animal. Dogs are chasing kids after school. That's a public safety issue. So it's time to take a really hard look at this and come up with some real. We're just not up in the 1800s services.
Yeah, pull those studies down about where jails and prisons have dogs and pets and like a vet clinic kind of thing, and they're interacting with the animals. It could even be like a farm where they're interacting with horses and the like, and not only gives them a focus, something to do, it lowers the violence in the prison. And we've got so many prisons in Louisiana. There are probably a bunch that are even closed because the sheriff didn't make a bigger profit or something ridiculous. It's set up for dogs. I mean, inhumane for humans, maybe a 6x8 cell. Throw a dog bed down there and some bowls of water and some soft things that they can roll around on, and it's a perfect spot for a dog until they get adopted.
Well, I'm glad you understand it because it is like that. And we've been pushing that issue for quite a while. We thought we had it in the bag 3 or 4 years ago. Department of Corrections was on board. But politics is tough. You've got to have a lot of champions because 1 or 2 can sink your idea in a heartbeat.
Yep.
So that's why I've been going to the state capitol ever since Edwards was our governor back in '87. So
wow.
It's kind of historical but embarrassing because you think I'd get more done, but I'm telling you, it's a hard sell.
Yep, no, it is. It is.
Human services.
No, you may have to bite the bullet and get some lobbyist that gives a crap. Ideally, one that is a lobbyist, that's great at being a lobbyist, and is a pet lover and will do it for free. You know, that might be the next thing.
Donate, and we can hire one.
Yeah.
Right now, people, please donate. The need has never been greater. We get calls every day. We run out of pet food. We can't afford vet care. How much does it cost to spay and neuter? So let's try and raise 150 during this next few minutes. That would be great.
HumaneLA.org is the website. That's such an easy goal. $50. Come on, people, let's do it. Jeff busts his tail. Him and his crew are nonstop.
A nice person who emailed you, just try and put down $25 because we work nonstop. So your money will go make a difference in the life of some nice animal somewhere in those states.
I can tell you this, and you can check it out yourself. GQ in Covington, he's donated to Humane May every year. Every year. Yep. And that's coming up in a few months where we'll raise $10,000. But yeah, that's a few months away. So HumaneLA.org. This guy loves you, Jeff.
back at you, Corey. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, Jeff. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm saying Jeff Dorson's the man. Everybody donate to the Humane Society of Louisiana. That's what you're saying, Blue Boy? Go to their website, humanela.org. Remember the website, buddy. You've donated using my credit card on the website. Holy smokes. humanela.org. Coming right
On
back.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans. It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. Travel 455-60809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Flood business. Travel 455-60809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look at Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvb.com. Grand Victorian.
That's what I said. That's French bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations. Family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
The same old glasses that everyone else is wearing stand out from the crowd onto Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered lenses and gorgeous high quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help. Frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as you know.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every year.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Wow. This is kind of mind-blowing. The NFL put out a list. I guess they got with some folks in the city, and they came up with a list of, what do they call it? Here's what the NFL says you should eat and visit while in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Here's where the NFL says you should eat and visit while at the Super Bowl. This list is crazy. First off, you could go to Google or Yahoo, and I think you'd pull up a better list than this. 14 Parishes Jamaican Restaurant, Akamaya, Addis Nola, Alma Cafe, Ash Cultural Arts Center, E Sweets Cakes, Mackinac Wine, Back of Town Coffee, Baldwin and Company Coffee, Bon Me Boys, Baroness on Barone, Barracuda Taco Stand, Blake's Place, Botanicals Nola, Bourbon Daiquiri Wings and Things, Brasa, Central City Barbecue, Chapter 4 Restaurant, Chicken's Kitchen, Compare Le Pen, Copper Bamboo, Cupcake Fairies, Dakar Nola, Emporium, Flower Moon Bagels, Freedom, Free Tie, Jolie, Justin's, K and Company, Chloe Coacher, Lanyap Bakehouse, Lamora Coffee and Kitchen, Little Dizzy's Cafe, Louisiana Children's Museum, Magnolia Yoga Studio, McCarty Chicken and Fixin', Miss Shirley's, Neo's, Parkway Bakery, Porgy's Seafood, Pretty Pieces and Company, Queendom, Royal Retreat Spa, Seaworthy, Studio B, Stuffed Beignets and Burgers, Sweet Lorraine's Jazz, Sweet Soul Food Inc., The Anecdote Juice, The Tell Me Bar, The Verdict Lounge and Restaurant, Turkey and the Wolf, Twisted Waffles, Us and Adam, Urban South, Weedat Chicken and Shrimp, Wilby's Catfish. I don't know. I'm a native New Orleanian, and I don't know all the places. And there may be some new trendy places the last few months I don't know about. I haven't heard of, probably, if there are 60 places I just mentioned, I haven't heard of 40 of them. This is, you know what this is? This is just typical New Orleans. This is like, you know, top 50 list of most influential New Orleanians that has the mayor on it. You know, it's like that. Corey Johnson could have put together a better list of where Super Bowl visitors need to go while they're in New Orleans. This list is terrible. This list is like, let's help out friends and family that own restaurants that are fledgling or not so good. It's not what you want to do. Now, some of the places are really good. But it was like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 8 that are very good, that really represent New Orleans, and the other 6 or 7 really don't. How does something like that get out there? Seriously, I just rattled off a list where most New Orleanians are like, never heard of these places. Absolutely crazy. We are so politically connected. I mean, we can't let the business community, we can't let reality roll. Capitalism's like is a no-no. We've got to put the fix in. We've got to connect friends and family. We got to have politically connected people in control. We have to have people that make a living off of city contracts and don't really do much work or supply any good service, or at the very least rip off the city, or don't do anything and just steal from the city outright. No, New Orleans and Louisiana are broken by so many BS jobs where people are connected somehow to taxpayer money and they don't provide anything. You want to trim the budget in New Orleans and Louisiana? Cut out all that crap. All these unnecessary middlemen, these people like, oh, you got to have Jimmy. Jimmy's always involved. No, you don't have to have Jimmy. Cut politically connected Jimmy out of the deal. My God, there must be thousands of people, literally thousands and thousands of people in New Orleans and Louisiana that pretty much don't really work, don't earn a living like we all do. A lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. But there has to be thousands and thousands of Louisianians that are just faking it, that have some connection to taxpayer money, and they're providing very little to no service at all. It is a blatant ripoff, and they're in it every administration, every year, every decade. And they live really, really well, and they strut around and in a nice car, nice suits, nice house, and act like they work and do something. Thousands and thousands and thousands of folks in New Orleans and Louisiana. Now, that list is atrocious. That list is like the top 50 most influential New Orleanians in the history of the city. Native New Orleanians. Oh, wait, you got to put Drew Brees on that list. He's not a native. All right, so there'll be some exceptions. If there's an exception, put LaToya Cantrell on the list. She's on the list. Al Hurt's not on the list, but LaToya Cantrell's on the list. Professor Longhair's not on the list. Andrew Higgins isn't on the list, but LaToya Cantrell's on the list. No, it's just politics that reeks. That's just pathetic, and we just accept it. That's just how it is in New Orleans, Louisiana. We accept it. I bitch and complain about it. If more people would get on board with the stuff I'm bitching and complaining about, there could be actual, real, meaningful change. But no, we like, I don't like it, but a lot of you folks like getting stepped on. A lot of you folks like busting your butt, living paycheck to paycheck, and your neighbor across the street doesn't do crap, but he's politically connected and he's a lot more money than you do. I don't get that. I don't like that. I'm not jealous or envious of anybody. I'm lucky I don't really have those emotions, thank God. But when someone crooked is living high on the horse at our expense, no, that's not a good thing. The mayor on the junkets, the mayor with the boyfriend, eating at big restaurants that she normally wouldn't be dining at. No, I don't think that's a good thing. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, that list just came out and I was shocked. I was like, what city is this? I don't recognize many of these places. I'll tell you something I recognize. I had a little mini loaf of Leinheimer. It's so funny. I stopped eating like one last piece. I'll take the mini loaf, I'll cut it in like 6 pieces, and I'll eat 5 of the 6. So psychologically, I can be like, I didn't eat the whole loaf, but I pretty much did. I threw that little mini loaf of Leinheimer French bread in the oven, baked it up for about 6-8 minutes, super crispy, crisp outside, and then that soft center. And then just tore it open. I call it, the end of the bread, the nose, as we Yaddy New Orleanians call it. And then I just took a butter knife with some room temperature butter and smeared it all inside of that bread and melted, kind of squeezed the bread together. And boy, it's like a little Leinheimer bread and butter sandwich. Piping hot Leinheimer French bread, sweet butter melting. Tough to beat. It really is good to the last crumb. It's available everywhere, every grocery store, most fine dining restaurants, most po' boy shops if it's authentic in New Orleans. The French bread of the city. Leidenheimer French Bread, Leidenheimer Baking Company. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. USA Today article. Shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. Just 2 of 44 restaurants were serving authentic Gulf of Mexico shrimp. 2 of 44. They went to Tampa, Florida. They went to Galveston, Texas. They went to Biloxi, Mississippi, and USA Today sent reporters to Baton Rouge. I'll fill you in on the results when we come back. How about that Allen Toussaint stamp released today? Yeah, you're right. I'm going to the post office. They're out. I'm going to go grab like $100 in Allen Toussaint stamps. First off, they're forever stamps. And normally I go buy like a couple of books of stamps, I guess about once a year. Might be like $20, $30. I'm going to drop like $100. So for the next 2, 3, 4 years, and I'll probably send less stuff as time goes on. I'll have those kick butt take name Allen Toussaint bad boy forever stamps. They're awesome. I am going to the post office mañana and grabbing a bunch of those. Those are going to be my postage stamps, maybe for the rest of my life. I don't know if I can do any better than Allen Toussaint on a postage stamp. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Yeah, you're right. Coming right back. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Gary Tracy's in the Garden District. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Viet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Viet, INS Agency. Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Viet, INSAgency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen, New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. Finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway, across from Oxford, on Airline Highway at LeBron Causeway. Smoothie King.
That's what I said. That's where it's Leidenheimer.
5 generations. Family-owned Leidenheimer French bread.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this automotive complex, there's something called quick lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all doesn't have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. They're right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
In New Orleans, we don't need to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges in the market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Wow, a week ago, snow on the ground all over the Crescent City. Today it's 73 degrees. We'll wake up tomorrow morning and it'll be 62. Nice, comfortable afternoon, nice, comfortable evening. Drop some coals. I might do that. Do a little grilling tonight. Really nice weather for it. 10 days until Super Bowl 59. 10 days and counting till we do what we do best. Events, festivals, partying, music, food, entertainment. Does Las Vegas do that well? Sure they do. In a generic, anywhere USA fashion. I don't think there's any culture going on in Las Vegas. Kind of the opposite. It's like a big, massive strip mall. New Orleans is real. I mentioned it last hour that I think Detroit's had a couple of Super Bowls. There was one in like the Pontiac Silverdome. They had like the French Quarter venue for folks, like in and around the venue. They set up like a fake French Quarter. I mean, how mind-blowing is that? Another Super Bowl city is going to have a French Quarter. It's crazy. But then you think about it, you're like, yeah, that should be in New Orleans. Old Philadelphia Eagles owner Norman Brayman said, this is like 30 years ago, he's like 2 or 3 owners ago, Super Bowl should be in New Orleans every year. That's what he thought. The ease of getting around, the compactness of the downtown, restaurants, hotels, everything right there. Convention Center, Dome, everything right there. Great weather, ease. It's true. 10 days till the Super Bowl, a week from this Sunday. Things are already starting to ramp up a little bit. Mega yachts appearing in the city. Arthur Blank, the Falcons owner, has his mega yacht parked at the Butterfly, right by an Audubon Park on the river. Few $100 million boat. Khan, the Jaguars owner out of Jacksonville, his mega yacht's parked by like Waldenberg Park downtown. That yacht's, I think, $300 million. Absolutely crazy. Next week, Lakefront Airport's going to have hundreds and hundreds, like north of 500 G5 and larger jets. The multimillionaires, folks worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The billionaires, the Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 CEO types, decision makers, not rich folks, wealthy folks. They're coming to New Orleans. They're coming to New Orleans next week. Like or dislike Jeff Landry, how can you argue with this? Proactive, man. They build this nice state-of-the-art tent, like a really first-class tent with all kind of first-class amenities inside that tent. Obviously, air-conditioned and heated. It's in that whale lot by the downtown Hilton, like Convention Center Boulevard, almost to the casino, about a block shy of maybe around like in between Julia and Canal Street, or I should say Julia and Poydras. Julia and Poydras, the old whale lot by the downtown Hilton. There's a huge tent, and they're going to bring in, the tech giants, the CEOs, the billionaires, the decision makers, and sell New Orleans to these folks. And that's what you got to do for this Super Bowl. I told Michael Heck that get a bunch of these, affluent black and white men mostly, but women too. We're in 2025. There are a lot of women now from 50 years ago, from the white community, from the black community. Now, generally speaking, from the white community, probably be like, Uptown and Old Metairie and things of that nature. And there are exceptions. And in the black community, it would be these guys I always talk about that went to like Troy Henry went to Stanford. Eugene Green went to Harvard. Marlon Gusman went to Princeton or Yale. I mean, they all went to these like kick-ass Ivy League elite schools, top 1% of 1%. They know if you get them all together, my roommate's the CEO of so-and-so. My roommate from college now is like a big wig with Microsoft. That's how you get with those people. Are you coming to New Orleans for the Super Bowl? They are. You get with them. You get them in a restaurant. You go have dinner with them. We need 10 jobs. We need 50 jobs. We need 100 jobs. Jimmy, you got 50,000 employees with Microsoft around the country. 50,000. We wants to relocate to New Orleans. I bet you'd have thousands of people. And the productivity is going to go up because they're going to have a better quality of life. They don't want the hustle and bustle of the big city, the commute, the traffic, anywhere USA, cul-de-sac, generic neighborhoods, living in brand new stuff. They want history. They want architecture. They want culture. They want the weather. They want the food. They want the music. They want the European masterpiece. You got to sell New Orleans different from versus Nashville, Austin, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas. We can't compete with those cities like on their terms. And they can't compete with us on ours. So you have to change the game. You want the generic? Here you go, guys. Go to Atlanta, Nashville, Austin, Charlotte, Houston, Dallas, Phoenix. Do it. I hear you. You want something different? Because all those places are the same, essentially. You want something different, a place just with rich culture, and we can get the job done. We're putting the past behind us, our crappy rep, and New Orleans and Louisiana broken the dysfunction. We're moving forward. Well, you get a few dozen of these guys and women, maybe 100, and they get 10 jobs, 20 jobs, 50 jobs, 100 jobs. You got thousands and thousands of white-collar, high-paying jobs, people moving here from another place, maybe meeting their husband and wife here, falling in love with the city, and putting down roots here. No, we need an influx of talent, and we have a prime opportunity with this Super Bowl. They're going to be on our turf, a very receptive audience, out dining, having a good time, listening to great music, great food. Bring it all to New Orleans. Some people want to live here full time. I remember when Shell was like, some of you Houston people, you can move to New Orleans if you want. And some of them moved to New Orleans. I don't want to live in Houston. Generic, boring Houston, same old thing. Some are like, I don't want to live in New Orleans. Old, crusty, and beat up. I want to stay in Houston. It's more affluent and nice. But some said I'd rather be in New Orleans. It's all a taste thing. Hey, if you're tired of your dry cleaner and would like to experience the best dry cleaner in the city, 85 years of excellence since 1940. Literally a New Orleans institution. Young's Dry Cleaning. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations. No one else has that. To find out more, youngsdrycleaning.com. To get on their free pickup and delivery list, youngsdrycleaning.com. To find out where Young's manless lockers are located, maybe right under your nose where you live or work, youngsdrycleaning.com. Wow, Valentine's Day, 2 weeks from today. Valentine's Day, 2 weeks from today. Valentine's Day, February 14th. Actually, I think it's a Friday, so I guess it's 2 weeks from tomorrow. Let me double check that, Miss Peaches. Yeah, Friday, 2 weeks from tomorrow. 15 days till Valentine's Day, guys. Woodhouse Day Spa. 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, Mandeville, Slidell, Baton Rouge. I got a couple of $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. The way to participate in the program, pick up that cellular device. 766-9480. Pick up the landline. You still got one of those? 766-9480. When did New Orleans host its first Super Bowl? 766-9480. Hey, no internet device, no search engines. You either know the answer or you don't. When did New Orleans host its first Super Bowl? 766-9480. When did New Orleans host its first Super Bowl in the Superdome? 766-9480. If you know the answer, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. You can find them online. Book an appointment at one of the 5 area spas for your gift cards, any denomination. WoodhouseSpas.com. That's the website. WoodhouseSpas.com. Another lawsuit following the Morris Bart model, suing the city of New Orleans and other entities like the NOPD, the French Market Management District, an engineering firm, a construction company, for the terrorist attack. I don't get it. I really don't. In my opinion, the city is not negligent. This could have happened anywhere. You know, someone arguing like bollards were supposed to be here, a barrier was supposed to be up. LSU, and they've been broken ground on that. The UEP Long Bridge got built, $1 billion bridge. We opened that, about 10 years ago, the expansion of the UEP Long. That was approved back in 87, 88 during the Romer administration. It took 30 years just to break ground on it. There are lots of things that lawmakers promise and what we should do, what we should. And Morris Bart should be ashamed of himself. Morris Bart is one of those TV attorneys that doesn't know his way around a law book or a courtroom. And I know Morris Bart's a nice guy. Everybody I talk to is like, Buddy Bart, nice guy. I'm sure he is. But a long time ago, Buddy Bart attorneys, it's not about the law. They don't have a passion about the law. They don't care. And they get 40% of the tape. So they are insurance company facilitators. It all costs us money. Morris Bart, I have $1 billion in settlements. At 30 to 40%, that's 300 to 400 million that he's taken home himself. That's why he lives on. I'm not knocking. I'm not saying he's breaking the law. I'm just saying it's sort of a little unethical, immoral. I think it's sort of low class. And Morris embraces it. And the money came flowing in decades ago, and it has not stopped.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com spot. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Agency.com. Agency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward for more goods each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Port of New Orleans. Visit portola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King. Hey, New Orleans. If you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, the Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to GVB Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Have you been to the new magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building. Literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called quick lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick lane. You got to come see it. You're going to love it right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
Native son, great New Orleans. No, that's me.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
New Orleans native son. No, that's me. That's me, lady. Oh, boy. You must have said something that made me mad. Hey, if you're looking for a spot to check out the Super Bowl, or maybe Pelicans action, Premier League soccer, any sporting events, Tulane LSU basketball, Lady Tiger hoops, maybe golf on a Sunday, whatever. If you want to do it with like-minded friends and fans and family, Tracy's Magazine at Pleasant. The Super Bowl is a week from Sunday. If you're not in the Dome and you want to check it out at a great place, plus, unlike sports bars in general that just serve something that I don't want to eat, I'm not going. Sports bars have no desire to go there and eat. Is there something edible? Some I would most go with an appetite. They've got a full kitchen featuring one of the best roast beef po' boys in the city. One of the best roast beef po' boys in the city. When it's time to check out your favorite sports teams, local, national, international, or the Super Bowl. They moved down the block. Now it's 2 stories, big balcony on Magazine. They're catty corner from the Bro Mart. Magazine at Pleasant. Tracy's. Great place to check out sports. 5 o'clock powwow on a Thursday, already Thursday. Fading into February. We'll be in February by the weekend. That's just crazy how quick time has been flying by lately. Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year to snow event to Super Bowl to Mardi Gras coming up, French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest. Holy smokes. Yeah, a week ago, almost a foot of snow still on the ground around Metro New Orleans? Today, 73 degrees. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, it'll be 62. I said it earlier today on the program. I'll say it again. Drop some coals. Light up the gas. Do some grilling. Boil some seafood. Fry some seafood. Get outside in your backyard, side yard. Enjoy this weather. Really nice. 10 days and counting. 10 days until Super Bowl 59 at the Louisiana Superdome. Yeah, you're right. What we do best. Showcasing what we do best for the world. Fired up about that. a commercial plane and a Black Hawk helicopter crashed at Reagan International in D.C., 64 dead. Donald Trump, man, ready, fire, aim, just can't help himself. Air traffic controllers to blame, the helicopter pilot and the Black Hawk to blame, DEI to blame, those policies. Pete Buttigieg is a BS artist, and he said the word BS, not the initials. It's the president of the United States, man. He's just nonstop. Nonstop. This is disheartening as hell. USA Today article, shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. USA Today sent a bunch of reporters and scientists down and sampled shrimp dishes served at restaurants claiming the shrimp were Gulf shrimp. In Tampa, Florida, all I can say is do not eat shrimp in any Tampa, Florida restaurant. The fraud rate in Tampa, 96%. 96%. That means if you go eat a shrimp platter 25 times in Tampa, Florida, one time it's going to be Gulf shrimp. The other 20 shrimp. That is insane. 96% fraud rate. Restaurants saying they're serving Gulf shrimp and it's imported shrimp. 96% in Tampa, Florida. Biloxi, Mississippi, 82%. What was that restaurant? Mahoney's. What's the one in Biloxi, Gulfport? Mary Mahoney. I think it's Mary Mahoney's. Mary Mahoney's was serving like, some kind of South American, what do you call that lame ass speckled trout fake? Tilapia. Serving some South American tilapia crap and claiming it's speckled trout. Mary Mahoney's. Yeah, I remember it was hysterical. A member, the president of the seafood board at the time, I forgot what his name was. And I'm doing TV editorials besides my show talking about it, doing TV editorials on Channel 26. The chairman of the Harlan something was his name, head of the Louisiana Seafood Board. His son was a shrimper like Harlan was, and his son sold shrimp labeled Louisiana shrimp, and he knowingly imported them from Mexico. So the head of the Louisiana Seafood Board, his son is selling shrimp that come from Mexico, and he's saying they're Louisiana shrimp. So I'm talking about this. Did an editorial on it. My God, this is the board member's son. And another board member I know saw me at the Zurich Classic. And I walk up, I'm like, hey, so-and-so, and right away just starts ripping into me. And I'm just like, wow, really? Thinking like, what do you think, I'm 12 years old? Hey, I'm an adult too. A, yelling at me. I'm not really going to listen anymore to this. B, I got to go do a radio show right over there, like right now. So you can come on over and discuss this during the break. But I don't know what you're mad about. It's your boy that y'all elected as president of the seafood board. It's his son selling shrimp labeled Louisiana shrimp when he knows he imported them from Mexico because he's greedy. Coupled with he's selling out his own industry his dad's representing. So what did I do wrong again mentioning this on an editorial? What did I do wrong again? Bringing up the facts. Sorry, I exposed this more than it's exposed, but that's as crappy and crummy as it gets. Shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants, according to USA Today. 96% fraud in Tampa. 82% in Biloxi. Galveston, Texas, 59%. Baton Rouge was the fourth city they did this testing in. Going to restaurants. 24 restaurants in Baton Rouge they went to. They ordered shrimp that was supposed to be from the Gulf. They tested these shrimp. 30% fraud rate in Baton Rouge. That was the best of the four cities. 30%. So about a 1 out of 3 chance when you eat a shrimp po' boy or shrimp platter in Baton Rouge, and that restaurant claims it's up in Louisiana. It's all about labeling. That's it. We're not putting tariffs on the stuff that's coming in. We're not banning the stuff that's coming in, but it needs to be labeled properly. Some crawfish tails from China that are called Bernards, and it's got some swamp setting, and it just yells Louisiana product, yet it's made in China. On the front, largest font size, equal to the large product of Mobile, Alabama. I love the crab claws and crab meat, Mobile, Alabama, if I can't get it from New Orleans. It's an excellent product. Not as good to me as the Louisiana stuff, but pretty damn close. So I get that all the time. But just put product of Alabama on that. Places that sell this stuff should be proud of their product. Corey Johnson, native New Orleanian, Louisiana guy who loves Louisiana seafood exclusively. If they're out of crab meat or crab claws and I got to get it, I'll get it from Alabama because that's a damn good product. No, it's crazy. No, the Louisiana product's better, but it's crazy that, I mean, I've talked about this for decades. It's barely getting implemented, and the laws aren't followed, obviously. I talked about the font size being equal to the largest font size on the label and country or state of origin if it's an import to Louisiana, any seafood product. And then every restaurant, I came up with this. You got to have the same deal. Where are the shrimp, the seafood coming from? Because folks are serving tilapia and they're saying it's speckled trout, or they're serving redfish. They say it's from the Gulf when it's Texas farm raised, because you can't serve, wild caught redfish at restaurants. I mean, I go on and on and on this. It needs to be said. Turtle meat. Are you serving veal in the turtle soup, or it's real turtle meat? I'll eat it with the veal. I just want to know. Maybe I won't eat it with the veal, but just proper labeling to stop the BS, to stop the Bernard's product that yells Louisiana when it comes from China. No, they realize, boy, let's try to fool the consumer. And even some consumers, they'll see our product, Bernard's, is $7, and the Louisiana tails are 16. They'll know right away by price it's a Chinese product. And we put this swamp scene on the front. They want to be fooled. They want to believe. They want to hope it's true. They know it's not, but they want to. Oh, I'm not sure. It's right. It's a Louisiana product. Unbelievable. Shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. That's just sinful. That is just sinful and pathetic and entirely unacceptable. Sinful, pathetic, and entirely unacceptable. First off, the Louisiana shrimp are just a far superior product. And they are, yes, a little more expensive, but they're better. And it's the local product. I just don't understand, folks. I mean, well, I got to have that crawfish etouffee. I make it for a third less price when I use the Chinese tails. Yeah, it tastes like crap. Bunch of knuckles, no fat, no flavor. And you're crushing a culture, a livelihood, hurting people in Louisiana. No, the labels need to be, these laws need to be followed. Corey Johnson with you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modern Intralox technology, are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you that's
Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. Guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, bb.com. The Grand Victorian. Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxford, on Airline Highway at Lamar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monitor. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else found out from the crowd? Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's in Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville. New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. Serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Every day, this program on radio, television, and YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. Lamarck Ford for over 45 years. Home of the #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. Don't forget about Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. Crescent City Ford for over 80 years, your Ford truck dealership in the metro area. You have a business, you need a commercial truck, van, or SUV? Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Valentine's Day, 14 days away, 15 days, 2 weeks from tomorrow. WoodhouseSpas.com, guys. Don't stress out. It's the same deal every year. Oh my God, what am I going to get her? Is she going to like it? Get her a day of relaxation at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations, and she's going to love it. Probably. Wow. USAA, shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. In Tampa, Florida, 96% of Tampa restaurants saying they're serving Gulf shrimp. 96%. 24 out of 25 are lying, importing shrimp and saying they're Gulf shrimp. 24 out of 25 restaurants in Tampa. Don't eat shrimp in Tampa, Florida, ever. Isn't that sad? I mean, on the Gulf, people go into Tampa, they think they're eating some local seafood and they're eating imported crap. It's mind-blowing. 90% of U.S. shrimp imported. That's sad. Biloxi, 82%. It's a 4 out of 5 chance if you dine on shrimp in Biloxi, Mississippi, platter, shrimp on a salad, whatever. It is a 4 out of 5 chance it's going to be imported shrimp. You go out to eat 5 days in a row and get shrimp in Biloxi only one day out of the week. Will that shrimp platter be local? 82% fraud. Galveston, Texas, 60%. 3 out of 5 chance. Baton Rouge was the 4th city USA Today went to. They went to 4 Gulf Coast cities or towns. Baton Rouge, Biloxi, Galveston, and Tampa. Tampa, 96%. Biloxi, 82%. Galveston, 59%. Baton Rouge was at 30%, the lowest. But still, almost 1 out of 3 shrimp po' boys in Baton Rouge imported shrimp when it's supposed to be from the Gulf. 1 out of 3. Shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. That's the headline at USA Today. That's terrible. Seriously. I'm just blown away by that. And I'm blown away how the laws on the books aren't truly enforced. And I'm not patting myself on the back going, I got these going, but I talked about them when no one else was. I talked to House reps and senators that have come and gone, some that are still around, and kept pounding this for over a decade. 2 things. Restaurants should be having to say where the seafood comes from. Yeah, shrimp po' boy, Louisiana shrimp po' boy, imported shrimp from Ecuador, whatever. They know the country or state of origin of their seafood products. It's on the box when they get it. So restaurants by law now have to do that. I've been calling for this for decades. All restaurants, most restaurants do not follow this. It's time to reemphasize the law and say we're going to be cracking down on this. You have to put in the menu, on the menu, or on the wall if it's just a few things you're serving. All our shrimp or seafood are Louisiana products. All our shrimp are Louisiana products. All our fish are imported from China. Whatever. Put it up there. It's the law. And then folks selling seafood. There needs to be a label with the country of origin on it on every package or state of origin. Product of Alabama, product of North Carolina. No, I mean, protect our industry. We could put tariffs on stuff. We could restrict any imports. We don't do that. We're America. It's Louisiana, capitalism. But at least label the stuff properly because we're getting fooled, bamboozled, and people want to be fooled and bamboozled, especially when the Chinese crawfish are $5.99 a pound and the Louisiana crawfish are $14.99 a pound. They want to believe it's a Louisiana product. They want to be fooled. No, it's just wrong. Shrimp fraud rampant at many Gulf Coast restaurants. It's sinful behavior. Just lying to the public. Fraud. Terrible. Terrible. Let's go to the opposite of terrible. Fantastic. The magnificent Grand Victorian on St. Charles Avenue in the historic Garden District. Unbelievable. Right on the streetcar line. This is an incredible bed and breakfast experience. Friend or family coming in from out of town, don't have them stay at the house. Too crowded. Don't put them up at some random hotel. Have them stay somewhere special, unique, that they'll remember the rest of their lives. The Grand Victorian, to book a room or just to take a virtual tour. GVBB.com. That's the website. The Grand Victorian Bed and Breakfast. GVBB.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Another lawsuit following Morris's BART deal suing the city. Also the NOPD, French Quarter Management District, an engineering firm, a construction company for the terrorist attack. Totally pathetic. Suing the city of New Orleans. This could have happened anywhere. The city didn't do anything wrong. Should bollards and barriers been in place? Sure, a lot of things should have been in place. But I went down and measured. If bollards were in place, there was more than enough room by Felix's to go around on the sidewalk by several feet. I measured in between the barrier that was down and the wall, more than enough room for an F-150 Lightning, 80 inches wide to go through that space. So barriers and bollards up could have gone around them. No one's at fault. Not the city of New Orleans. Could have happened anywhere. That's the thing. Rational people that live in America, they know it's going to happen anywhere, any place, anytime. It's beyond our control when some lunatic is willing to die to go kill a bunch of people. What's that, Blue Boy? It's not New Orleans' fault, exactly. And it's sinful, these politicians and lawyers now, the media members trying to blame the city. You're right, Blue Boy. You're a genius. Fantasy Friday Maniac
on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.